Hello, Final Fantasy Randomizer. It's me, your good old Mama Duck, Maddie. And I'm here to commentate this third Duckling Rally VOD, which, because I'm the best one, I'm gonna always be here to make sure that the Ducks know that they're making the mistakes I did, and that I'm mildly disappointed but also incredibly proud. It's just me here in the commentary booth today, so I do apologize if I have a little bit of trouble keeping track of everything that's going on, especially considering that this is entrance floor shuffle, which is a massive undertaking to try to do, even when you're doing some decent tracking on things. That said, I do have Franklin and Rax here in the tracking booth in order to assist me with at least making sure that the trackers are as accurate as they can with everything that's going to be going on. Now then, entrance floor shuffle. This is something that I had to learn through trial and error. Do take notes, and I'm going to just do a very quick aspect of the things you should be taking notes of. I start every ERC writing down basically every key item that's needed at a location, so think your Oxy Ale, your Dwarves TNT and Adamant, your bottle, and your cube, as well as Chime Locked in some cases. Ruby, less important, but Rod, because all of those floors are now shuffled into your rotation. Now, Dwarves is obviously going to be an endpoint, and you've also got the split floors to worry about, which are annoying to try to keep track of and do in one particular go. Now, that said, we'll get into it a bit as we go. I'm going to probably chastise a couple of different moves depending on what I see being where, but we'll see when that time comes. We have our teams selected for our teams, or for our lovely ducks today. Now, we notably have no black belts with their lovely hit percent and equip axe, which makes a lot of sense considering that this is a shard hunt on the EF. So because of that shard hunt aspect, they're going to be opening pretty much everything, and they're going to have the equipment to make up other things, and they don't really want to stop for a grind in these kind of arrays. I completely agree with that. The fighter has a lovely legendary sword with 20 extra MDef, so that means promotion is completely optional. It depends on if we're going to need any of those high-level spells, but realistically, we probably won't. The thief has 4,000 gold pieces and equip shield. 4,000 gold, very good, especially when you're going to be running into... I don't think towns are shuffled in on this, but we're going to see, at least for me. I can blast you, Siberian Bull. I look forward to it. That said, in terms of it, the Thief's gold is going to be useful as well as their run percent, because we're going to end up in some very deep dungeon dives with very little opportunity to get out short of a warp or an exit, and we want to make those last as long as possible. So that Thief's bonus agility and run percent is always an excellent choice for these kinds of flags. That said, we notably have two different assortments of mages. No, it's three. Double red mage, which would probably be what I take in this one. They've got 2 extra bits of level 1 MP as well as free Invis 2, and with the shuffled towns and such, you're likely not going to want to double dip on things, especially if they're 2 or 3 deep. Now, that also said, the other options that we have the White Mage having 40 HP and learning Lamp to resist all. So, Lamp has a function. Thumbs up. The odds of us finding Lamp are low enough I probably wouldn't consider them for this kind of a flag set, but the access to the full White Mage spell list as opposed to the Red Mage Limited can make a big difference, especially with your ability to cast Life or not. And then lastly, we got a Black Mage with 10 strength and 20 HP. You only take that if you really want to find Nuke and fast. Which, yeah, sometimes you do, especially in these kind of flags. Now that said, without further ado, let's let our ducks loose, and we'll start to actually criticize them from here. Alright, so there's going to be a little bit of desync just from the nature of how these VODs are done, and yes, it does look like our towns are shuffled because they've got a starting crescent, which is not a fun one to see. It's way too high level of magic for those red mages. I don't even think they can learn it. If you've got a double red mage party, you're not even checking. That said, it is going to be a first free key item here, and at least we're not going to have to find them later. So we got a ribbon and canoe. Canoe is terrifying in EF. Mainly because that just said, oh, hey, everything on the first continent, go do it. So, yep, we got a quick save here, as you should before you go into basically anything in EF, because everything could go bad immediately. We also do have some starting gear, including a nice caster item. The Zeus is a very good one. I had Bane in an earlier seed. I was not happy about it. And also enjoying Siberian Bull's little Mega Man run. It is Dwarves at Castles. That's going to be something that they need to remember in terms of getting TNT and Adamant. Now, that's an easy one to get to at least. It didn't show up, 2-3 deep, because Dwarves does count as a cave. So even if you don't turn towns on, it's still shuffled in there, and not a fun time. Rax going straight to Provoca. Now, I think this was probably mentioned in other ones as well, and here's Scar going north to Matoya's. Because they're both entrances and could be anything, it's a lot more valuable to go to Matoya, and generally you'd want to save like right there at the bottom of the mountain just to go to the one, and if it is nothing, or nothing you can do now, so in this case Ruby, then you just reset back, and we see Scar do that beautifully, just chef's kiss. As Rax goes the other way and finds On-Rack at Provoca, which is not a fun one. That is another one where you're going to need to remember, okay, yep, that's an Ox-EL. I'm going to need to go that way eventually and keep track. That is the other side of Titans over on Tenthful of Fiends. That is a rough one. We don't like seeing that considering where those ended up. So Ruby is going to be borderline useless, save for checking the 4 boxes that are there in Titan's area. Now that said, we're probably going to see a lot of route divergence because that canoe just opens everything. So we're likely to see, it looks like we're seeing Scar headed towards to see that Toph, to see the other side of that Titan's Cave he's already seen. Or they've already seen. My bad, I apologize. Ugh. Track 4, it's fine. So yeah. And we got Siberian Bull seeing the other sides of Titans there. So that's it. Again, it's good that Titans is here because it means that there's not a massive jump in logic. Now we've got a first C split here at Dwarves, which is, again, I think I mentioned it's going to be rough that you're going to want to do both of these while you're here. So that is gold on the early side, so nothing super important yet. I have not checked the flags to see where the incentive locations are. If one of my trackers or my restreamer want to just paste that into the broadcast notes, that would be lovely. That said, so right side looks like it led to nothing. And looks like our left side. Because yes, the locations of incentives are still very important for these because you need to keep track of different things. If they're loose, you want to make sure you know the floors. So yeah, there's Elf Castle. So we need to remember this section for Herb as Scar goes the other way, and we see that it is Earth's first floor followed by Volcano's third floor. I'm gonna eventually remember my my inner layouts. And into Marsh Split, the double split. It's so bad. So if there's anything important here, they're going to need to make sure that they've got detailed branching notes of like, okay, so it's C into left. Well, right, I need to go back with Herb. And then it's the earth floor followed by everything. Okay, so it's just vanilla in basically every location. So here is C floor, which is going to have the C incentive here, which means that this was very important to be headed this way, which I think was Marsh Top because it is the shorter route. Now that said, they're going to be probably opening as much as possible just to get as many shards as possible. Dude. But we'll see what our C incentive item is. It is the Crown. Okay, so that means when we run into Astos, we will be able to engage him, as opposed to, much like we ran into with Elves, staring at the wall and being sad that you're going to have to come back. Especially if it ends up 3 or 4 deep in a chain. Like, it's just never a fun time. Gonna say I would draw out my notes, but I do not have access to that kind of thing. I'll just remind me later, and I'll give you some glorious note pictures. Dude. So picking up a couple of extra shards, and Siberian Bull looks like to be taking the leave. Not terrible, or likely going to get both checks on this floor first, which also is not technically bad. Oh no, taking the leave. Navigation would be a nightmare. It is a nightmare. It's one of those things that you just kind of have to get used to the more you do it. Like, I entered FFR not knowing anything about the game, so trying to watch and understand Entrance Floor Shuffle broke my brain for the longest time. That said, it's been about a year, and now I understand each floor enough to I can generally react to it fast enough. and understand enough of what I need to know for each situation. And what you need to know is going to be different per person. So, like I said, I tend to keep track of where certain incentive items block off progression and where like certain trade-ins are. And that's about all I tend to care about. That, and if I need to get orbs, like the locations of specific dungeons, if I need to go back and double dip them. That said, it's really rough to justify a double dip at the skill point I've hit. Oh, that said, Scar, taking a small moment. Not sure if that's the stream stop. Nope, just likely taking some notes and considering the path forward here. Gained a lot of levels just in terms of how this tends to work. Doot. And grabbing just the first one and headed down. Now, we do have an ice incentive here, so they are going to need to do the entire loop, which is very bad right now. This is one of the things, for entrance, force shuffle, exit, and teleport are such a massive thing that it's hard to... You will miss them more in this than in anything else. Because you have to consider, they're going to get the item here that's in ice, and they're going to have to walk back through the earth floor, back through the volcano floor, back through the marsh floor, back through the sea floor, etc., etc. They're going to have to make sure that they are always within a position that they can walk out of incredibly long dives, longer than most normal dungeons. Now, at least the ice loop is always the ice loop, so there's not any sort of bit to worry about there, and these are really good experience boxes that they're finding. Like, just looking at the health on Scar, that's into double digits of levels at this point, I believe. That said, does not help when you have no equipment on a red mage. Matter of fact, it looks like Siberian Bull's levels are so high that... No, it's just fighting. I thought it might have been a runner. Doot. So lots of money. It's going to be good for when they run into different towns. And the canal. That will be necessary to get out of the inner sea and to other checks because Titans ended up where it is. Very rarely you can end up with Titans being in a location like, say, dwarves, and then the other side will be on one of the other continents, including it can even be on the Cardia Isle, and that can generally throw off your routing a lot if you don't expect it. So you'll like get Ruby and you'll be like, oh, I don't need to check the other side of Titans, and you're like, oh, well, I've got like ship, I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna check things. It's very important to never forget about Titan until you found both sides of his tunnel. That's it, Scar. They wind up into Astos, which is their Toph. They're going to need to remember that location. This is now officially where the game ends, because the Toph floors are not put into rotation, but they should be. Hear me out. We remove them all and add random floors between opening the orb and getting to chaos. It would be lovely. I would enjoy it greatly. Everyone else, not so much. And it's very true. You can like scum diving a lot of dungeons, like in terms of checking, seeing if it's something you're actually going to need, and just getting out of there. That said, Rax not checking the chests in Toph. I have to chastise that one. There's also an instance you talk to Sarah, and then you do need to go find Corneria. So we got softs, we got Sharknado Flare. Sun 4 is going to be a very good weapon in terms of that. Or in terms of picking things up. That's like a you could take it to the end game type of weapon, technically. Just because of the +4 and the lower flag that tend to be on these Duckling sets. That said, Bract is one of our first to actually get spells that are castable. Dude. It's 3 boxes and a lot of steps, but it is, in fact, Shard Hunt. Because you can do the checks on the steps. If they are not important, you can leave. If they are shards, you can still technically reset and leave, knowing that they're there, and pick them up later if you need a couple of shards by the end of the run. That said, we've run into Astost, and... whoop, goodbye, Astost. Sun 4. Putting in Sun 4 work. And there is the ship. That is huge. That's there at Marsh location, which means I believe that's going straight to Elfland. And just here after the long haul of the shameful. And yeah, again, this is where we're feeling that lack of warp. I did miss what the magics were available, so I'm just gonna cheat my notes. We got Brack, we got Lamp for that resist all. That's really good. Access to First Life and Warp. So Rax now has access to Warp, which is a very powerful tool here. Now, granted, it is level 4, so that we need levels to actually cast it, but once we get there, that is a huge aspect of movement that we have access to. As a wandering around various ice loop stuff for Mr. McScruff. And Scar pops into Elf Castle, and it's, oh yay, the fun seafloor. That said, just going straight to see where it goes first, because it's not going to hurt. And it's Marsh Bottom. Excellent. So this is one of our vanilla incentive locations. Let's see what we've got here. And I'm going to peek at Rax's to do it. So that is the Adamant. So we do know where the dwarves are, and Rax has not picked up the ship. So let's see if Rax ends up going directly there or taking the detour before then. It looks like no. Rax is going to... Ooh, maybe. We're checking Marsh first. Please tell me you checked Marsh first. As our other runners essentially basically seem to pick up. The majority of runners seem to have gone for this left path, which is not a bad choice. I tend to prefer a right path, but then again, I also tend to like check dwarves first. So if I got canoe that early, I'd just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna continue to volcano. Just keep going. Dude. As I say, taking the good encounters when you can, so the big eye is always a good one. Dude. I'm gonna say we've got Mr. McScruff, or Mr. Scruff. I'm adding a Mick there, and I don't know why. Probably because of Scruff McGruff. Not something I ever experienced in my childhood. Rax getting the ship as we speak. But Mr. Scruff going through the bit that I was mentioning the last time I was talking about one of the Duckling races, and that's doing your equipment and knowing when you want to put your equipment on. Considering how relatively weak Garland is, putting that Ice 4 armor on was a bit of a waste of menuing time versus just doing it when you get to something that's actually going to be a like decent threat to you to need to put it on. Because armor in this game and in Randomizer is optional, we'll say. It's good and will help you survive in a lot of cases. Like, you will want to pick up, if you do promote and you have Dragon, put the Dragon on. But for the most part, it's just going to be the difference of surviving a couple of attacks, and in the early game and with low scaling, most things aren't going to be a threat. Dude. That's it. Just doing our checks. We got everyone else basically picking up those spells that were missed prior, so everyone's got access to that warp now. Gonna be a fun time. I believe level 4 black is available for red mages, so that should be fine. Gonna say Siberian Bull either lacking checks or lacking them being checked off, which I'm gonna assume it's the latter. But I could be wrong. Oh. So just a little bit of encounter diving, checking different things, going for the long chest. It's a soft, we cry inside. Oh. Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear, Siberian Bull. We do have those happen every now and again. And that said, I find Siberian Bull is making the correct play. None of the items found have been important for, like, major progression. So if you do die in these kinds of settings, when everything is technically more or less random, just go to the next place, because you could end up finding the progression elsewhere. Yeah, other than ship. Ship and canal have been pretty big. And the canoe was early enough that it's at least still there. But yeah, if you find yourself dying out of like Crown, just remember where Crown was. Like, just like, okay, this is where it was. And just keep going to somewhere else. We see Rax cashing in that Oxy Ale first. So let's see what's under the sea. As we get a pirate hint for the TNT. Dude. And it's Volcano Floor, as Scar is going to get that TNT, I think before that Adamant turning, because I don't see the crystal on their thing. Ooh, and this is a Sky Floor. I get greedy on these sky floors, and we're about to see if Rex suffers exactly how I tend to. It's looking like at least a little bit. I get very greedy when I see this floor, and I'm just like, I want everything. Katana 3, Opal. Oof, we got good gear. Ribbon. Oh, it's all so good. Yeah. And dude, survives. Good, good. Alright, yeah, that's... Oop, no, warping out. Yep, warping out to save all of that good stuff. That is an excellent play, I approve. That said, you did warp too far, and also you're gonna have to take the long walk to the to the shame one. Dude. Oh yeah, those are beautiful Mirage 1 finds. And yeah, just before you're going to do a save, this is where it's a decent idea to do your equips, because it means they're going to be done for the future. You're not going to have to do them again if you take a death or something along those lines. So this is a decent point for be doing something like that. That said, interesting choice of where to place the gear. I'm generally a fan of give the stuff to the white mage first, but that's because I tend to keep my white mages with life, and it means if they're alive, everyone else is alive. TNT turning into herbs, so this is where we need to remember that it was on the right half of that C-split. Dude, warping on out. Housing up, as you should. Alright. And there is Matoya for this crystal turn in. Luckily having that and not needing to remember, it is the rods. We're going to be able to get past rod floor as well, which is a very big, like, what would you call it? Stopgap. No, that's not the correct term. Roadblock. That's the term I was thinking of. And we got Scar having remembered where this herb is and cashing it in for show me potato salad, the floater. So that is huge. That means that we're likely going to see Scars first in the air. Dude. Yep. Taking that house save just because you do not want to lose that. Not even a single step. Zipping on round. And see, we have Rax going to the outer sea. Now, this is a situation where 6 of one, half a dozen the other. I wonder if Scar's gonna do what I'm thinking of right now. So I'm gonna give them the chance to see if they go that way, and then... No. Okay, so they're going straight to floater. So one thing, if you're going to go the outer route, I probably wouldn't have, because you're already in the inner sea. Just go towards the river and go. But if you're going to go out, hitting ordeals while you're still in ship, so you have less space that you need to walk versus being in the airship. Doing ordeals before swapping over to airship, I find, is one of those things that if I have the opportunity, it's something I like to do, but it just very rarely comes up in a nice, convenient pile like Scar just had, where his ship was parked fairly close to the outside anyway. It would have been just going down past Cardia, tuck in, check the ordeals entrance, and then just run back up anyway, because you're doing most of that distance. It's just a little bit of extra sea movement in exchange for what is a bunch of overworld movement that is with far more dangerous encounters. Doot. It said Rex saving. We got those level 5 spells, because that looked like Vanilla Melmond. That adds nothing interesting to our rotation. Doot. And Rex cashing in this TNT, which is going to be obviously the herb, into the floater. As Scar is just doing the rounds, checking everything there. Now it looks like they did Volcano into Ice. I don't mind it. It's perfectly fine. And heading straight to the Cardia Isles. Not bad. I tend to forget about Cardia, so this is an excellent check. It's a lot of just high density right there. We've got access to Corneria. Garland is defeated. Princess is saved. So this is just 2 free items. We've got Cube. That's big. That's getting past Cube Lock. And Tail. That's if we run into Bahamut, we can. But with Legendary Sword on fighters, again, it's kind of an optional thing. Unless you find the gear to make it worth it in this flag set, I don't think you go for it. And that's just straight up Tia. And housing to take on Tia. Might as well take a run at it. As Rex picks up its floater. Dude. Scruff taking a couple of encounters. I've been just obsessed with the top two for reasons that are kind of obvious with their number of items. We're gonna see what Tiamat has, which is generally a fun time. Tiamat, ooh, cheeky Brack. Will we see it? Sunsword doing about 15. Level's kind of low for taking Tia. Nope, no Brack first try. Good heal. Couple of hits, and... Nope, didn't get it second time. You'll let me know when to start yelling at you. All right, I'll keep my eyes peeled. Now that said, so this is one of those aspects where I have a bit of advice for it. So taking this Tia, obviously with the Brack, it's not the worst thing if you can get it, which now we can't. And we're just relying on the swings. We do have the Sun 4, which is not a bad thing, but you're just going to spend a lot of time in this fight, which is better spent. You knew it was Tia. It was the very first floor. So you could have gotten away with just ignoring this and coming back later with very little to any penalty on it. Because you're doing about 2 damage, you're wasting a lot of time in this fight here, Scar. As we see Siberian Bull running to that Astos and crying on the inside from the crown death. Yeah. Yeah. Because, yeah, at this point you're dead. Just to pull Darkwind's advice, trying to do the Brax again, if you're really dead set on doing that plan, just resetting to try the Brax again. Because at this point you're just stuck in this pickup loop doing not terrible damage because you've tempered a few times, but the time that you've done that is time that could have just easily walked back to it. As Rax is now taking on Kraken, I'm going to guess with a very similar strategy in mind. As our other heroes enjoy Marsh Cave. It's toasty in here. All right, lifing up, healing up. Heal 2 is one of those spells that I've fallen out of love with Heal 2. Heal 3 or leave. The gambler's fallacy at work. Yep. That said, it is an air orblet. And here's Rax going for the Bracken on the Kraken. Nope. We got the Katana on the fighter. Ooh, punches the thief. He does not like that dummy thick steely boy. He's getting an opal. Just these checks. Yep, free shard there. 99% of black mages quit fist strats before broken into pieces. It's true, Fellison. It's true. We got to get our 1% new member that has a name that starts with S. That's picking up these other Cardia checks. Just because when you run into the Cardias, you need them. That is a white shirt. That is a spicy. We had the free invis cast on those red mages, but having the white shirt and not having to use them is really big. That is Carrie's floor. Scar, not taking Carrie. Carrie's a chump. You could take Carrie. And there's ordeals. Yeah, probably marking all of these on notes for needing to come back later. I have just thought of the most evil thing for flags, and I'm going to submit them for the next AP. Dude. Carrie can be a pain without a status spell. I don't tend to use status spells on Carrie at all. I just tend to hit her. Especially with a Sun +4. Just bonk. You were doing 200-ish damage to Tia per hit. So Carrie, the significantly smaller slot, would probably go down fairly easy. Swing hard, exactly. The best status condition. Dead. And we don't have a 1 Scar. You gotta always do 3 first. 2. See? You gotta do 3 first. The correct choice of checking is 3 into 1 into 2. Into Cry Inside. Or Nuke Fade till dead, exactly. Dude. Alright. Show me 3. 3 is always the correct choice to do first. As our other lovely hero ducks end up picking up the bit, there is Siberian Bull grabbing up that crown. Gonna be headed back to Astost. Extra pro ring here in the volcano floor for Rax. Nice, nice. Meme strats 4-1-2-3 or 1-3-2. Mechlin, I appreciate the moxie, but you will have to be defenestrated for that one. That said, point of interest, you can use warp in on these ordeals floors, and they're generally pretty good. Is that massa? I'm gonna guess that's a marked massa, and that is Scar considering the potential. Yeah, no, and then leaving. And that is Ruby, completely useless. Ordeals garbage. A dragon sword, not terrible, and yay, it's our favorite chicken. And that is Bottle in the Sky Floors. That could still lead to something. Oh, there's Nuke. Bye-bye. Dude. I think this is where you, oh, no! Going drink strats for the War Mech. Okay. I respect the Moxie. Alright, Rax, finding, Vampire Floor and Rod Floor. Yeah, alright. Yeah, at this point, just let him kill you. You didn't find anything interesting in there. And Rax entering a room that I'm told has a boss fight in it. I've still yet to see it. You know. Just this random encounter. Yeah, see, it's just an annoying encounter. You're fine. Dude, see? Same deal. Unique encounter. Nah, there's like a 1% chance of running into vampires on this floor specifically. And it just conveniently happens there. Also, Debs, can we get a ability to just interact with the rod plate and have it happen, and possibly with the loot one as well? Just hear me out. Menuing sucks, especially because cube is automatic. That said, Scar checking out the first starting with CC's Gambit. Not a terrible pickup to start. We appreciate the crab. That said, ooh, stopping manticores. That's not a fun time. Is it using the harm just to get rid of them? Because at this point, the stun is not worth trying to wait through. There you go. Dude. I also talk to that stupid plate more than I care to. So trust me, it's a mutual thing. I wouldn't be asking if it was something that I was good at avoiding doing. As I Siberia pulling pick up with everything. Mr. Scruff finding those pirates, which is going to lead to that TNT. And allow the second of the dwarf checks. Doot. As Rax goes onto the floor, I need to see the path here. It is very important. Down! Oh! Alright! Oh, God! Oh, I'm in pain! Oh! Alright, I can't talk to Rax anymore. You do it because it makes people mad. But you're losing like 2 frames of walking. Correct directions, wrong order. Pellison, no. Right dead. Alright. I've had a song stuck in my head all day, chat. Be glad I'm not singing it. As Rex checks out our greater than, less than, just looking for shards at this point, and anything that's like a potential big pickup. Armor has filled up, so we'll start to get faster messages on those. So an interesting aspect, and because of how much AP I play, I'm notorious for it, but once your armor fills up, don't fix it unless you have to. And also, check all of the chests in a room before you start throwing stuff away, because then you're going to have to do 2 menus. Remember Oxy for Riches, but the Marsh Revisit? Ruth. Gonna say Rax running into Sarda, and we've got the Slab. I was gonna say, I think the only thing we're missing at this point is, like, Chime and the two things that we care about. Which at this point, I believe, have to be in, like, Corneria Locked has to have loot. And Bottle has to have key, I think, in terms of what we've seen or not seen. Well, the Fang can have things. Depends on how many items are in the additional rotation. Because I, once again, did not read the flags. Doot. I'm gonna say, Mr. Scruff, racing out to get that 30-minute air. We appreciate it. As Siberian gets the 30-minute water. Yes, there was that ribbon hint. It did say Lefane. I also don't use hints much. You can tell. Yeah, I do think that means Bottle kind of has to have the key and then key into loot. Now, the question is, did our runners remember where Melmond is? Because that's another important one. Scar, finding Bahamut, getting that promotion, that will allow some, different armors to be worn, the remainder of spells to be learned if necessary. Now, we haven't seen much in terms of good spell location. Two's been really good in terms of just black having nuke. So our red mages have been okay after picking that up, but realistically, we haven't found Corneria. We didn't bother to check any of the 7 or 8 spells because red mages can't learn them. And I don't think any of them checked the crescent spells while they were there, because again, not super red mage learnable. Dude. That said, I think our runners will be fine. You did, not useful. Yeah. Fade's good. We like Fade. Lock 2 is actually really good. It was minutes into the run. You did have 4,000 gold, but yeah, it's level 6 spells. They tend to roll 5-digit. Yeah, 2 red mages, useless. Yeah, Lock 2 is one of those ones that is slept on more than it should be, because it's pretty much like inverse fast. It's extra hits because you remove your opponent's evasion. If they're a particularly evasive version of the boss, like there have been dodgy chaoses out there, it takes that ability away from them, which is a huge, huge boon to have. So it's a really good thing. You can have 12 hits all you want. If you're only getting 4 of them through, lock. Like, to the point that lock has been on, like, my mandatory pickup spells lately. That said, Scar running into the rod floor does not have that rod, though. At least according to the notes. The notes trademark. So we'll see if they bounce off the rod or not. Katana pickup for Siberian Bull. And there we saw a ribbon and the opal. That's where you bother about actually trading stuff around. Because we want both of those. We don't want to do any major walking, so we just drop 2 things and pick them up. It's true. Window fuel. Sometimes you gotta fuel your windows. Yeah, say Earth being just another Cardia. Dragon armor, not terrible. It's good for that pick or that promo if you do take it. And the red mages can equip those Vorpals, so at least I think they can equip Vorpals. I feel like they can equip Vorpals. That sounds right. No, Defense Sword is the best thing they can equip. Hey, well. Someday I'll learn. But I'll teach all of you before then. Both those statements can still be true. They can equip Vorpals and Defense still be the best sword that they can equip. Defense better than Vorpal. Fight me. I'm here alone on cons. Nobody ever argues you. Except for the chat. Maddie gets more bad. That's why they won't invite Nibble to joke. They never accept my Vorpal opinions. I'm too controversial. That's it. Another good pro, and this is where we're kind of seeing a lot of that like menuing come back. Dude. And we got Marsh Top warping out. I think there are still checks up there. I mean, it's only 4, so I can kind of understand the warp out, but I don't know. I'd have at least grabbed things. For the shards, if nothing else. Because you're still very low on shards there. Dude. Which is a point for not taking carry, is not getting... She's only worth 2 shards, and versus the time you invest in her, so... Now I can yell at you? Oh... Oh, Ordeals is empty. Well, again, it's worth that check. Oh, you don't have floater! Also checked it. It's not a bad thing to check, because it's a low priority check, but I think, as like I mentioned earlier, if you've got the ship, you're gonna go out anyway to go get the floater. You can stop by Ordeals real quick in this kind of a thing, because if not, you end up with this long walk trying to get there. Now, granted, it's near the end of your run, because it's generally one of the last places you're going to try and check, but it's still one of those things where I favor the shorter walk in terms of the 2 choices there. Also, my lovely co-host Binks has come and decided that he wants to chirp and ask for attention. So we must give it to him. See? 3's the correct answer. Gonna say finding... Dude, yep, bottle's got key. Maddie calls it. She's seen enough seeds. Oop. There it is. That is essentially... We do know where Corneria is. That is the only locked incentive. We also know where Dwarves is, which is just a bunch of free checks. Dude. I was gonna say Scar. Landing to do the Walk to the Fane, not a terrible bit. Elf Prince having floater. As the hint. As Siberian Bull finally sees it. Dude. Is Scar taking a quick lunch break? Alright, Rax getting to the top of here. Now, Rax, we're obviously deeper into the run. Rax has more EXP than our attempt when we saw with Scar. So, will Rax attempt the Warmech? Lupa? I thought that hint was Lupa if you didn't have Slab translated. Shows what I know. And there is a ruby. Great hint indeed. Alright, popping into the hole. Ugh. Dude. Yes. Our co-host and Lord of Belly Rubs has insisted that the tummy must be rubbed. As Rax goes to take those 2 extra shards, we got the extra ribbon here, and there is loot behind Corneria Lock, like Maddie said. Dude. Massa -2, wave chicken goodbye. Yeah, makes sense. Granted, the other major sword they're swinging right now is a katana -3, so it's still a Massa. Like, Massa's minuses don't tend to hurt it as much, just with the raw power advantage it has over other things. Dude. And hey, Radical Nerd in chat made the same play but got lucky fighting Mormec. That leads to my favorite saying, I would rather be lucky than skilled. If you ever have the choice... Ugh. Scar reading the different weapons, checking their levels, and going to fight carry now for the 2 shards. Scar is in Shard Go mode, so just needs these shards. I think needs about from what I saw, maybe about 12 or more. We need to check next time they pause. Yeah, so Rax needs about 9, it looks like. No, 10. No, 11. It's fine, I can do math. Which is numbers that means basically taking on Tia when you find them, because you're going to want that. And obviously looking for that sweet, sweet loot. Dude. Carry terminated. Bye-bye! Remember you in therapy. Luck is a form of skill. Truth. But see, luck is the one skill you can't train. Unless you learn to cheat at dice rolling. But that's learning the skill of cheating. Which is an LADX player? Yes. I'm gonna say, Mr. Scruff walking through an empty room as Scar finds Corneria, and that is fast. A very good pickup. So that is the matter of spells that we really want to see. And Cure 4 and Heal 3. Oof. Yeah. Just both of those, please. Especially on the fighter. Siberian Bull, cashing in the TNT. Run, Mega Man, run! He's Mega Man. He's got a mega plan. And there's that herb for the floater. Scar checking the waterfall location. Saved way too high on that river. Waterfall is vanilla. Ow. Ow. Thanks. That's my wrist. Please stop biting it. And there is the snare drum, the loot for Rax. Ow. Apparently it's playtime. Ooh. Crack from the mummies and sleep. Oh yeah, just reset out of that. That is I'm going to deal with that like 5 different times. Just the time of the spells going off. Worth the reset. Ow. As a Rax stumbling upon Tia. Dude. Now you go the wrong way. Oh. There is pain. Ow. 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 I have a cat eating my elbow. The whole arm. I'm just gonna take that away. Ow. Oh, my. Double down on the wrong way? Oh, yay. The gas station car. I tell the story a lot. And I'll take the moment for it as we're just kind of waiting for things to get to the waterfall location, which is going to be Chime, right? So we're just here for shards. Black shirt, shard, house, heal, grab the chime. It's got to lead to like Lich Floor. Up here and some money. So there was this dude, my family member was working at like a Jiffy Lube style deal. So like a auto shop next to a gas station. So we watched this white car roll into this gas station and slides in next to the gas pump. Wrong side of his car. All right, fine. Does a U-turn to the next row, so it's still the same side of his car next to the gas pump. Gets out, realizes he made the mistake twice of the coin flip, and then finally puts it in the correct way. It was a baffling moment of idiocy that I will never forget. Never done that before. Reset out. Yep. Rax finding the level 1 magic, so access to that cure and access to that lovely, lovely fast. Scar stumbling into a lower earth floor. Dude. Well, that's a perfectly fresh piece of paper that has been completely destroyed. I'm not getting that back. That is X-Cal +2. That's a spicy sword. Dude. And it's just going to have raw stats better than the sun, so even a good chaos weapon. Unless you're going to swap to the Katana -3. Not a terrible choice either. Rax walking on in here. Looking for shards. Oh, no. Dude. Oh, did you reset so far back? Dude. Do it again. Shards, money. Dude. Not that far. All right. You have tents. Use one. Just use a tent before any dungeon dive. Trust me. Don't be like me where you get teleported back in the middle of bingo and lose all your goals. Rex will know what I'm talking about. Oh. Siberian Bull. Ah! My co-host has decided destruction is the only way. The sound of crinkling paper is him absolutely destroying the notes because that is too much for him to bear, his little cat heart. Oh. That is a power bonk Scarful stumbles into. Not bad, not bad. That said, hear me out. Best part about ninja carries, being able to cast Saber on your own. Dude. Good the rest of the way? Excellent. You finally needed some good luck. Alright. Is a Rax just slightly tailing Scar in terms of route, but we do know that Rax just has the Kraken shards that put them ahead. Like, it's a difference of 1 shard at this point. I'm taking this away, Binks. I know you like destroying the paper, but... Dude. Talk about it in 30 minutes. Oh, dear. Dude. Say extra shards, just picking them up. Rax 1 shard away. Scar, meanwhile, searching for, I think, about 5 more-ish, roughly. Alright. Paper Ball, the ultimate toy. Heaven forbid anything that I bought him is enough. Scar, gonna take Lich. With the number of with the number of shards left, I don't think I take Lich at this point. Like, it's not just Lich that you're gonna need to fight. You're gonna need to probably fight Kraken too, and Kraken's gonna make up that difference anyway. Now, 2 hits, it's fine. You're already deep in a dungeon, so getting out is still the play. He walked this far, might as well. Yes, that is the small correct bit. But just looking at the amount of shards still needed, and I don't remember seeing like that many shards elsewise, it's really rough to justify that kind of a fight in like mid to late. Early maybe, but mid to late it's a lot. Because here's taking the ice loop the wrong way. They know where Kraken is. That's fair. Well, they should just take Kraken then. Just need 1 for a go, yeah. I'm gonna need to clean up so much paper after this. Gonna say, Rax, there you are. Rax remembering where Toph is. Has everything in hand. Alright, your Rax goes. And Doc. And we've got Short Toph, Best Toph. Good for quick dives. Now, I'm a slightly question the nuke casts on this. Because it's Lich. So you could get away with just attacking and skipping over it, saving those spells for the tougher fiends. while also like still doing fairly well. Because you're gonna like be 1-2 fights maybe. Carry, yes, in terms of using the invis shirt. Doot, doot. The duck sort of riot if they gave you Topher. That's fair. Doot. I was gonna say, but they're ducks. Their riot's gonna be like nipping at our toes. All right, Kraken's where, yeah, I see you generally want to use your first fast. You've got plenty just because it was a level 1 spell. And that's the other thing. You've got more access to fasts than you do nukes. So using the fasts is just marginally better. Waddle your tail so hard. I'm gonna say that looks like last shard-ish. Grabbing the defense sword. Yep. All charge achieved. We're gonna see Scar following up on Rax here. Eh. I I guess I just disagree because I'm used to nuke on higher slots. Because in terms of it right now, they've got 3 left. That's gonna basically all go towards chaos to have the black mage have useful turns, or not have a black mage. That's also fine. Dude. Because yeah, we're seeing Scar just devastate through with just pure swing. Now, granted, promoted, but dude, like to maximize the chance you don't see a second turn on Lich or Carry. That's fair. I guess it's just knowing your damage numbers appropriately. Like, you're not promoted. I don't know if you're under-leveled at all. Yeah, level 20. It's an X-Cal +2. I just swing and save the spells. Purely for, like, menu time and animation. Yeah. Because it's one of those bits where, like, say your fighter goes down to this, or your white mage goes down, and you're left with just your mages, having access to the extra nukes has a better chance of getting through chaos, and I find getting through chaos to be the more important thing than not seeing a turn 2 Lich. Eh. I've sort of hit the point where I stopped using, like, any damaging spells at the end until, like, Kraken, if I need to. Even then. And that is Rax finishing at 40 or 5401, getting through it with a decently in the danger zone fighter, but nothing that's too busy of a worry about. Scar with the promotion, obviously having a much better advantage here just in terms of the extra stats that the promotion provides and the extra levels that were achieved along the way.
Okay, 5401.
As our other 2 runners continue to, well,
Obviously, if you promote, you get
be
better
ducks.
equipment. You can put the spells
Just collecting their
on your
stuff,
knight as well.
experiencing
You
entrance
can
floor
select
rando for what it
each
is, which is a
and
lot of
select.
nonsense.
I'm going to go look
Mr.
at
Scruff getting
the
the
current
2 items
standings.
from them.
Best
Yeah, we did see Q
155 to
block on
53.
Scar's side.
Yeah.
You gonna say Chaos doing something to Scar that
Oh my
absolutely
god.
wrecked that team.
And
I'm guessing a
that
nuke
Scar
based on
is
those health
the
numbers.
person who I think is most likely to beat me in
And
this
only
battle.
cares about keeping the fighter
And next
alive.
place
And
is
oh
120.
dear. Dude.
So, wow. Time to
Tier
submit
3
this
on self.
video, I guess.
Yeah. The emergency fighter situation. We've got at least some good damage. Gonna say power gauntlet up because we need more. Oop, there's another nuke. 133, not numbers we want to see. Say, gotta smack him down. All right. Yeah, one more saber. I think you want about +7 for a fighter with Xcal when it comes to your like sabers and tempers, so that you're doing decent amounts of damage. Oof. That is a nuke, and that is an excellent last pickup from Scar. They are not punished. Beautiful. And yes, the watermelon flavored chaos goes down. Alright, as Mr. Scruff walks into a carry. Man, look at those Mega Men sliding. Because they're poisoned. That was, in fact, a scary chaos fight. There was a lot of nukes that got thrown. Also, Siberian Bull getting the door glitch, my favorite thing that ever happens. It's the only glitch we're allowed to do. Makes me happy. And Mr. Scruff taking down that carry. And looks like has all of his shards. Just a matter of needing that key and loot. So that was not a terrible choice on that carry. Realizes it has the shards, does not need to fight Tia.
I explained everything that was happening. It's hidden flags.
Oh,
My partner Darius.
no, not there. Not
mostly
there.
working on
Oh,
some,
Mr. Scruff, we need to show you the
really
landing pad.
competitive Pokemon for my son, but
Also,
I'll do
Mr.
some
Scruff
details here.
should have saved at that airship, because we know that it is a dead end at that ordeal, so all of this walk is going to be horrible to go around and then horrible back.
Oh, I get to pick. Okay.
Because I don't remember seeing them save before getting to what are we seeing on Rex's screen there, Dark Moon?
Oh, White Mage minus 30 HP, no heal.
Is that one of the weeklies that might be spoilerific if we see it happen?
So fighters and black belts are not an option.
Just might want to cut the feed, cut the feed. Dark Moon, cut the feed.
But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to replace.
All right. Oh, Scruff, no. Oh, the house. Oh. I'm in pain. Mr. Scruff.
Is no longer here.
I'm in pain.
So I'm gonna try.
Oh.
Red, black, because the white.
What did we learn, Mr. Scruff? I'm gonna need.
And I want to keep a nun.
Gonna need a short essay on the correct place to land the airship, which is over here near the desert, just right there. It's actually less steps to then going around. And number 2, saving in the airship before you get there. If it's something important, then you step out and then you save. But do not save out front of ordeals in EF when your airship is that far away.
3, 2, 1. Drop the controller. 3, 2, 1. Go. Okay, it's a normal map.
Dark Moon! Dark Moon! There you go. Alright. There's Mr. Scruff picking up the key, and Siberian Bull's feed going dead. I'm guessing an ad from Twitch, or ad from YouTube, because they do love to do that. Dude. No one saw anything. uh... Dude. Alright, and this is where Scruff's gonna grab that loot real quick. See, it would be great. Oh, yes! Oh, yes, there we go. Perfect clip. Just goes black. There's nothing in that room. Nothing happened. And there's a 1-hour loot from Mr. Scruff. Does not have any additional shards that they need to find, so just gets to go straight home with that. Grabbing this extra ribbon just to be safe. Did not find promotion, though don't really need it. Doesn't appear to have kept everything other than that black shirt, but I believe that Scruff has the double red mage party, so... Dude. The restream. This is why I highlight my runs and then proceed to submit the highlights as opposed to the full things. That's my lesson for you, Rex. Trim your streams, highlight them. Highlight the run that you need to submit. All right, that's some experience grab. Bull doing the pin hairs. I don't mind it in Shard Hunt. I like it more in All Loose. And you do have access to warp, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But these tend to be on my potential ignore list for things. Dude. Very much Twitch novice, and we'll take a look. I will teach you the most excellent thing. Well, I have a stream deck, so I get to cheat. But if you leave your stream manager open, you can mark the stream. So you just leave marks where things like begin and end, and then you can go into highlights, and they're just right there, and you just like slide them on over for the highlight range and export it. Is it getting that promo, equipping that katana? Dude. Gonna say noticeably. Oh, did not find the X-Cal. We're gonna be fine. Sun's 4 is still really good. You can add those buttons to your OBS. Oh my! I've got a stream deck, so that's my secret. Just press buttons that are extra and on my desktop. Dude. Mr. Scruff doing a bit of some equipment sorting because this is probably going to be the last time that they're doing equips versus just fighting chaos. Dude. Yes, I did find the first level stuff at Corneria. I do feel bad that it did not commentate the bottom runs a little bit more, but the top two were just in such contention that I needed to keep going at it. Oh. And all right, we'll see Mr. Scruff get bat blocked. The bat block always the worst. Checking the chests, I'm guessing looking for a better sword if one happens to roll here. So flame armor and a Thor hammer. So nothing. Ooh, leaves. Interesting. Okay, just resetting the floor. Probably just a slight mistake. All right. Punch away. We got red mages with swords. Dude, that looked like the Vorpal on the fighter side. Now, a Vorpal -1 and a Katana -3 are not fun things, but yeah, see, like, there you go. 4 swings, you're fine. And both you, Rax, and Scar had way better equipment to get away with this. Dude. Tiny hit Katana. Tiny hit Vorpal. Dude. And this is where we experience the Wiffle Bat. Fast is... Yeah. Whoop. Both of them that time. Yeah. This is why Vorpal is the inferior sword. I may be fighter over ninja in terms of like what I wanna have, but I am Vorpal or Katana over Vorpal. Vorpal bad. There you go. Just takes a million crits. And tempering on carry. Dude. Siberian Bull stopping by Sarda, getting that slab, I think it was. Warping on out. Using every cast we got. Tornado from Kraken. Ooh. Alright. Picture this, chat. It's Kraken in the tornado. He's got all those tentacles, so he's just spinning like one of those like merry-go-rounds with the teacups on the end of the octopus tentacles. It just whoosh, and that's how he does so much damage with tornado. Just dividing the 8 punches among 4 potential white mages. And a good 7 hits. It's down. Mr. Scruff having levels on Rex when we saw them here, but not having access to that X-Cal making a huge difference here because it's just 2 negative rolled weapons, and they're not exactly the ones known for ridiculously high attack. They're the ones known for having good crit, which means if we don't get those crits, we don't do damage, like so. It does make the fast all the more powerful because we need the extra rolls to get them. Mechlin, that joke was bad, and you should join Phoenix and I on the pun side. Dude, I also noticed those red mages having harm 4. Now, I don't down on it because obviously undead exist, but it was same level as Nuke, which means Mr. Scruff went to white magic first and bought stuff before checking black magic. Which means I get to slightly chastise that. All right, doubling up on the fasts because we're gonna need those hits at this point. Chaos is pretty much only weak to crits, and we need to crit him as much as possible. So good, we got the double fast casters and a couple of crits, and that is a nuke. All right, emergency mode has activated. Temper, hit him up. We've got one shot. Go, ogre. All right, there's a nice 2 knocking one of them down. That is a temper. Yep. And don't even get it. So we've got a couple of tempers, and we're about level 24, 25-ish. So we're at least in the good range. Level 26 would be better, but we take what we can get. We're getting good crits, good crits. Uh, okay crits. Nuke. Oh, hate to see it. So the nuke roll was the big thing. I don't mind this run it back plan. That said, when you're doing as little damage as you were with that, and obviously we just saw that with the what was that, a Bane taking out the ninja. It's one of those instances where it could be worthwhile to go and do a little bit more checking just to try to get a better weapon. Like consider where you haven't gone, where has like decent check density, and either go do that while taking some levels on the way, or take some levels to make up the difference of your like minus weapon attack. Oh yeah, it's true. Dark Moon's entirely true on that one. It's a short toe. A couple of face smashes is completely fine without time loss. But like, you got to know when your limit is. I'm still very bad at my limit because I'm obviously like, oh man, I only failed because of like this small bit of roll range, and if I get it, it's gonna be fine. And often I'm right. But if you have wasted like 2 or 3 dives and you're running into the problem of I'm not doing enough damage, a little bit of grind is a really good thing to know when to take. And just in terms of these weapons, like I said, for Mr. Scruff, I'd probably go into about level 26 and then just coming back. Because it's not too many levels, it's the extra hit for the fast. It's gonna make that difference as Kraken continues to do the spin dance. Yeah. Knowing when to give up on Topher for now is a super hard skill. Yeah. It's a skill that I'm still learning intensely. It's one of those ones where I've had to like stop and say, if I've run at it twice or 3 times and I'm dying to like randomness, I need to stop, take a step back, and consider. Yeah. 3 dives is kind of where you do it. And Mr. Scruff is probably going through the same kind of mental space that I go through at this point. Is like, I got to chaos. That means I can beat all these 4 fiends. I just need a good chaos fight. But he's suffering from the problem that everything needs to survive up until that point, and everything is very capable of killing his team as well. Yeah. We see swapping the ribbon up to get the resistance to poison because Bane is not a death spell, it is a poison spell. Not terrible, but it is going to open that red mage to the same thing just further down the animation line. So we'll see if it comes up. It could be that that ends up saving things, but we shall see. We're obviously not going to see it this time because Lich is going to manage to not use the Bane at all. Oop. And there it is, taking out the red mage instead. That said, still doing that swap. It's not a terrible thing if you're going to be like relying on it. And at this point, Rax or not Rax, but Mr. Scruff's strategy at this point relies on having 2 major attackers available. So I don't entirely blame it, but again, this is one of those things where because you definitely need both attackers and you're gonna keep losing mages, stop for a grind. It's time, Donkey Kong. Also, if you're gonna be consistently doing that equipment swap, uh, do it and then take a save outside so you don't have to keep doing it. Because every time that menuing is being added on, all right, there's the Bane coin flip missing, which is one of the things that was needed. Doot. Showing off why learn lamp to get ribbon white mage is powerful. Yeah, true. State of your ribbon. Yeah, lamp ribbon was clutch. The other aspect to consider here is just freeing up that ribbon, but also having access to the life, because having access to the life and that one with the ribbon means being able to pick up any of the other members if you don't have the ribbons to protect them. So that's another aspect that's kind of missing here. And this late in the run, it's way too late to consider new party, but yeah. And like I said, just like seeing these single and double digit numbers is the big hint you want to be doing some grinding. Doot. For not necessary Bahamut upgrade, you'll need the robot masters. I mean, is it unnecessary? I think it's very necessary. Siberian Bull showing off the new skins as you gotta. When you got the bling, you gotta show it off. All right, McScruff through Kraken 2 again? Not quite yet. Using the heal 3 slots, not the worst plan. Dude. Ooh, swirl. He is just spinning. The Kraken just wants to show you that he can spin. Dude. I was gonna say the cut scissors are interesting. They don't even move. Ah, Fireman, really? Snip. The mighty cutsman. Dude. Well, that's that's something. Siberian, just going for the man mode on it. Only need one. Dude. And yeah, see, there's that difference in level that I was mentioning. Why even finish the? Oh, wait. Why not? Why not just reset? I mean, I guess the small amount of experience Lich gave, but dude, it moves at 60, but we can't see it because we're watching at 30. Truth. That's the secret. It's cutting so fast we can't see it. Well, actually, it's just how the overworld sprites work. It can only flip the bottom. The top can't do anything. Yeah. All right, Scruff getting another chance at this. Checking the levels. This is the bit. Level 27 is good for that fighter, but when you're relying on both of them, you want the ninja at 26 at this point. Two fast casts get us through. Doot. There's the nuke. That's rough. Die dies. Just going straight for the temper, not the worst plan. Doot. Got Siberian Bull doing some equipment shoveling. Not saving after the. There we go. I was gonna say. Dude, we're getting the hits in for Scruff. There goes the ninja. We're made sure we're fasted. Temper. We're just putting everything into this fighter, hoping that we can basically hit that threshold. Pure man mode just depends on rolls. And there it is at 115. Mr. Scruff gets through. And that's the bit that I was mentioning in terms of it, where it's he knew that he could get it if he got to chaos and got the right rolls. The better play would have been all of that time spent bouncing off of it, get 2-3 more levels, and it would have been a cakewalk. As we're watching Siberian Bull with those few extra levels, starting to take it on. Third solo fighter night kill. Yep, it's because it was a rough chaos. Double nuke will do that. Dude. I'm interested to see the day that someone accidentally goes up here from carry into that little cubby and ends up having to fight everything. That said, Siberian Bull with not terrible menuing. Cute. Now all of my attention is here. Let's say swapping some stuff around. Is that fighter in slot 1? Never fighter in slot 1. Unless you don't have anything else. A second fast cast. I would not do the 2 different fast casts here. The reasoning for that one is essentially you've got very limited supply of those casts and a very high amount of fiends to deal with. So you've cast so many fasts that if we open up your magic menu, you've got maybe 2-ish left for dealing with the rest of the fights. Dude. We're gonna see here. You know, one of these days, I'm gonna ask for control so I can stop and go the VOD stuff. Maybe I'll do that if I do a personal VOD review for someone, just so that I can pause and go over different things. So 5 casts. Okay, we still have a good amount of casts at least. So, lucky in that regard. There were 9 total. Yeah. No, thank you. Guess any fast up Kraken too. Okay. That's a little more reasonable. Still, I wouldn't fast the red mage when you did, mostly because that fast translates as well into a heal 3, which is huge for the nukes coming up. Now, you haven't seen the nukes yet, you snippy headset. Dude. Alright, healing up. Yeah, there's a run bonus, I think, for the Thief in slot 1, though, so you should really get used to using Thief in slot 1 there, Bull. Fast spoilers. There's the nuke. And there's the heal 3, and this is where you'll feel that lack of spell slots. Faster heal menuing. Slot 4 dead, move slot 3 to slot 4 for faster healing. It's true. Because then you just do one input instead of 2. That's at least 1 frame. Oh, I question that fast. Because now... Oh, okay. Let's hope we just get the crits. Low damage punch. Okay, we got the crits. GG Siberian Bull with a 120.02, but oh my. Oh, I gotta... See me after class. But that said, that is week 3, which was the entrance and floor rando, and we return to Chocolate Mountain once again, the best race course for the Quack Motorsports. All in all, a good showing from all of our runners regardless. 120 is an excellent starting time, especially for entrance floor rando, so that's good. And we once again have some nasty ducks to watch out for when the final rallies come around. So with that said, I think we do have some time technically before the turnaround to the reveal, though I'm sure the reveal would love to just start itself early, considering we have most of the same crew. But I'll take time to, plug some of the stuff we got going on. Look forward to later this week, starting Thursday, we will have the Winter Marathon supporting the South Carolina Firefighters Burn Children's Fund. So look forward to that. We've got lots of great runs coming up for that. If you are not a part of it already, please join the FFR server. We have lots of stuff that goes on like this. We would love to teach, the next ducks and get you started and going that way in terms of, the learning process of that. But we also do things like archipelago games every month, and we have different weekly races that we got to see a little bit of a peek for on Rex's feed there. So there's plenty to do at all times. You'll never find yourself without something to do and good people to spend time with. That said, a special thanks to everyone who assisted with this broadcast, for Dark Moon on the restream, and Rax and Franklin there on tracking. I'd have been way doing worse without the two of you, so extra special thanks. And with that, I think I can rest my breath a little bit, have some dinner, and see you all later. Oh, God. All right. Oh, I was holding that cough for a while. Thank you, I try. Rex muted.